Hello, parents. My name is Mark Grant. I'm going to be your son or daughter's civics teacher for the upcoming school year. I just wanted to make this quick little back to school night recording just in case some of you had conflicting schedules and were not able to come out to the back to school night. So I decided to give you guys a little background on me and a little bit about the civics class for the upcoming year. So to start off, my name is Mark Grant. I'll be Mr. Grant for the year. I'm a product of Fairfax County. I was born and raised here. I actually went to school did I went to high school and middle school at Lake Braddock before going off to JMU, um, where I graduated. Loved it there. I think it's the happiest place on earth. Everyone, very nice people. It's a little background on my summer. I spent this past summer in China for a month. I was doing some teaching there. This is just a picture of me with one of my students. Then after that, came back to the States and I did some traveling out in the Pacific Northwest. This is me out in Seattle. Loved it out there. The reason I share the picture of me in Seattle is I'm very outdoorsy. I like doing activities, and being out there was wonderful because I got to do a lot of wonderful hiking, just a lot of great parks and things like that. So really appreciated that part of the country. And then just to the left of that is the Marine Corps Marathon symbol. I run a lot, something I enjoy doing. I'll be running the Marine Corps Marathon this coming October. I ran it last October as well. This October should be a lot different because this past summer all I did was pretty much travel. I didn't have a lot of time to actually train for it, so a little worried, but it should be a great experience once again. If your son or daughter is in my third or seventh period class, I team teach during those periods. So I team with Mr. Lunsford. He's a graduate from Christopher Newport University. Really great teacher. We like working with each other. And he's in the room to give additional support to some of the other students in the room. On to the curriculum. So what we'll cover over the course of the year is we actually start the year by going to Finance Park. Great opportunity for students to learn about what it's like to be an adult. I'll cover that a little bit more further in the presentation. But what we do is we start with citizenship, talk about what it means to be a citizen, the process of becoming a citizen, and all that great stuff. We move on to voting and political parties and elections, talk about why people vote, why people don't vote, the basic four roles of both political parties, Democrats and Republicans, and how their primary function, or any political party's primary function, is just to win elections. So this always tends to be students' favorite unit, or one of their favorites, just because we do a lot of cool stuff. We make our own little class mascot parties, and we hold an election to see who will be our class mascot for the year, and fun little things like that. After we finish up political parties and elections, we move on to the founding documents that led to the writing of our Constitution. We do a unit on the Constitution, which leads us to our three branches, which is normally is the big bulk, it's the meat and potatoes of the class. So we spend most of our year on the Constitution and the three branches. After we finish the three branches, we move on to economics, which is another really fun interactive unit. Well, all the units try to make as fun and interactive as possible, but economics is one that lends itself to being a little bit more interactive because students get to make their own businesses if we don't have too many snow days. And so we learn about a little bit about the global economy and how our actions here in the U.S. As consumers go impact the rest of the world. So really great unit to end the year. 8th grade is the year of SOLs. So there is a civics SOL that all these units are geared towards preparing students for. Next is service hours. So this is one of the big new things that students have to do as 8th graders. Students have to do 15 hours of community service for the year. And so the way we're breaking it down, because this is very different from past years, in the past we've required students to do 20 hours, 5 hours every quarter, but the county actually only requires students to get 15 as 8th grade students. So we have 5 hours for the first 3 quarters. Students could have done up to 3 hours over the summer. which can count to their first quarter and only their first quarter service hours. So that would mean if students did 3 hours over the summer, they would only have to do 2 for this quarter, which shouldn't be too hard. I post a lot of opportunities on Blackboard. I'll send out emails throughout the year of any opportunities that I come across. There's also opportunities that will be posted on X2Vol. Now this is new as well. We rolled it out last year, or the county did, and this is an online service that we're using and program to log all of our hours instead of doing it on paper like has been done in the past. So I'm going to show students later this week how to do it. There's a video on Blackboard that I made last year. I may make a new one, update it from an actual student account, so you can see exactly how to log hours. But this year I don't have a 5th period, which means I don't have class when students, during any student lunch, during the period which students have lunch. Sorry for that. So if students want to come during my line time or come in during lunch to see again throughout the year how to log their hours on X2Vol, I'm more than happy to help them through that. And so with the 15 hours, the big goal is that we get every student to reach the 15 hours of their 8th grade requirement. So the 4th quarter is just like a catch-all because we want all of our students to reach the 15-hour requirement. And so if they do it over the first 3 quarters, the 4th quarter is just for those that didn't reach the 15 hours. And so that way we can kind of help those students that didn't necessarily get the 15 during the first 3 quarters. The next big thing, which I mentioned before, is Finance Park. We will be going October 5th, which is a Monday. This is a chance for students to experience, see what it's like to be an adult. One of the really funny stories that happens pretty much every year is that a student will come up to me and tell me about how they never want to have kids after the day at Finance Park, because students get life situations and they might have 2 or 3 kids and they get a random salary that they have to work into a budget, and once they find out how many kids they have and everything, that budget doesn't become as flexible as they may like, and so they have to make some decisions based off entertainment options and housing options. And so it really gives students kind of a small appreciation for what it's like to be an adult. The big thing with Finance Park, it cannot happen without parent volunteers. It's a day that you would have to take off work. I understand that everybody has very busy schedules, so if you are able to come out on October 5th to be a parent volunteer, really appreciate it. It's a great opportunity to kind of see something different that the county does to provide an authentic learning experience for students. So Finance Park, really great experience. Hopefully when we come back October 5th, your son or daughter will have a interesting story about what they learned from it. It's been totally revamped, by the way, from past years. Last year was completely brand new, so this is our 2nd year with the revamp. The last main slide of actual information I wanted to provide you guys is ways to keep up with what's happening in class. The best is Blackboard. I highly encourage any parent to download the Blackboard app, so that way you can just pull it up on your phone if you ever want to see what's happening in the class. Everything that's done in class will be posted on Blackboard. For students, I've created a teacher Twitter. Everything I post on there is also on Blackboard, so there's no reason for any student to get social media. It's just I know a lot of students nowadays do have social media, and they're more likely to check their Twitter than they are Blackboard. So if students want to follow my teacher Twitter, I post everything that I post on Blackboard there. Just another avenue that if students have a question or something and feel more comfortable asking it in a tweet, I'm always happy to answer it. So that's just what it's all about, the Twitter. I'm always welcome to emails. This is my email, and this is my team teacher, Mr. Lunsford's email. We're always welcome to emails or comments, any feedback you can give us. The last little thing that we have set up to help students this year with keeping in touch with class is Remind 101. It's a app, little texting service, that what happens is students text to this number right here, this little access code, and when they text it, I do not get any students' cell phone numbers. They don't get my number. all it does is it's one more way of being able to communicate with students. The goal this year is that try and send out a Remind 101 text at the beginning of every week so the students can have a little reminder of what's upcoming and things like that. I just noticed that this presentation now has hit the 10-minute mark, and that's how much I have for back to school night, so I don't want to go any more over than that. But my last little slide is just that I appreciate you guys for viewing, that have stuck through this to view everything. I try and make civics every student's favorite class. That's my goal. I want to make it as awesome as possible, so I hope that whenever your kids talk about civics, they talk about it fondly and they get to enjoy it. So I hope everyone has a great night. Thanks for viewing.